What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to do a farm update. We've been here on the homestead for a couple months now, and it's time to show you guys the progress we've made, and so I could document it myself and, you know, look back on it in future. Right now I'm at the chill spot fire pit area that we made. Here, check it out. We made a rock path from the door, one of the back doors, all the way to this little area here where we put down some pavers that were left here by the previous owner. The only thing we paid for was the fire ring itself. The rocks came from around the house. I'll show you that in a minute. We got a little canna lily in a pot. This is my jackfruit tree I've actually had for like 3 years. And then some ground covers right here. This is Okinawan spinach, longevity, hibiscus, a mango, and then of course, you know, every homesteader's got to have comfrey, so I put comfrey right there next to each. All right, let's go get this. And then the reason I planted the jackfruit and mango right here is because it's close to this fire pit. I'm in northern Florida, so it does get a little bit colder here, and I could protect them until this microclimate in this area is set up and established. But as you can see kinda here, all the way around these little sticks, those are Mexican sunflower. For those of you who do not know what those are, they are like a type of flower that gets 12+ feet tall. They make excellent wind barriers, and they also make great green manure, about the equivalent to chicken manure. So chop and drop, they're like the best, bar none. Let's see what else is new. Over here I planted a dwarf, what is this? A dwarf nemois. This is the lowest point in this section of the property behind the house. This is the lowest point. It had the thickest grass because all the water gathers over here. Also planted a couple Mexican sunflowers for that wind barrier, because those are going to come up super quick. Right here, right there, hard to tell, right here, and right here I have some bamboo planted. Those are going to take a while to get established and shoot up, so for now, wind barrier, Mexican sunflower, and like I said, good chop and drop. Let's go check on the birds. Everybody's chilling in the shade right now. What's up, guys? You happy to see me? Hi. These are my 2 Chinese geese. We got some chickens, death layers, guineas, and Muscovy ducks. Everybody's doing well, getting along great. About once a week I come in here, I put another fresh layer down of mulch. And this is all temporary. Them staying in here all day every day is only temporary until they're old enough to go out into the world in free range. I'm looking forward to that. Take some money off of my feed bill. This is the only white one we have of the death layer. So where'd you go? But I got 4 death layers total. Looks like 2's gonna be a rooster. These 2 right here. So I'll call one of them. But yeah, these guys are doing great. Everybody's getting along, which is awesome. Let's go check the piggies. For those of you who don't know, we have 2 red-footed tortoises. This is their enclosure area. Super easy to make. We just stack some cinder blocks, a couple T-posts, some wire, pavers to discourage digging. That's their shelter. They're probably in there right now because it's hot. But yeah, plenty of vegetation for them to munch on. There's a tomato plant planted right there, right here, and some spinach for them to munch on when it matures. But yeah, this is their area. Their water and food's in there in the shade. And then that's filled with hay where they bury themselves when it gets too hot or too cold. Then right over here we have the mobile piggy tractor for the baby. I don't know if you've seen my Instagram page, but we got, I'm sure you can hear him now, we got another Cooney pig. Hi. How you doing, buddy? You're so cute. You're so cute. Oh, I know. I know. And he's in this little, I call it my pig tractor, PVC and chicken wire. I know, sweetheart, I know. And he's in there during the day, and then at night, since there isn't a permanent shelter out here for him, and this isn't a permanent living condition for him, at night he comes into the Florida room on the side of the house where he has food, water, and a kennel, a dog kennel, filled with hay or straw right now. So these pigs are in their own little separate paddock that I'm standing in now. That's not part of the 2.5 acre pasture over there. Yes, little miss, I hear you. She's excited to see me too. So they get rotated in here every few days. Hey, sweetheart. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Hey, you sweet girl. I don't have any food right now. I'm sorry. They get rotated here every few days. But it looks like, because that's where they started, you can see the grass kind of coming back over there. But it's a little more patchy than I'd like. So what I think I'm going to do, because this is all a trial run, so I want them to be as sustainable as possible, and I don't want them tearing up all the grass and all the roots and just leaving bare earth. So I think I'm going to rotate them onto this pasture, which is next to this little paddock, when they're done in here, to give this paddock time to recoup and regrow. And that way we can slowly build the soil in here. I'm also reseeding bahia grass after them, after they've been through an area, and I've evened it out because they do bore a little bit, they do dig a little bit, so I'll even out the ground they mess up, and then I reseed it with bahia grass, which is a type of grass that does well in this climate. Plant that behind them. That's what that sprinkler system is there for. Right there. Make sure it gets water daily. Little mias. So until the soil here and the grass can keep up with these guys, I think I'm going to rotate them onto the pasture next, the big pasture, just to keep things as sustainable as possible. If that makes sense. So besides the jackfruit tree, I also have a Thai mulberry, which is a heavy producer, a loquat tree, and a fig. Both of these will do well in this climate I'm in, or all 3 of these. And it kind of creates a little box area, you know, surrounding this, making the chill spot more chilly. I also got a bunch of other plants, potted plants, stuff waiting to get planted, put in the ground. I'm balling on a budget here though. Limited resources, limited funds, limited equipment. I got this property zero money because VA home loans are awesome. But so we're taking baby steps here, super baby steps. The rocks that I got for that pathway came from here, the side of the house. This is the Florida room that wraps around. This side of the house was all rocks, which is not cool. So we replaced the rocks with some plants. Some of them don't look too happy, but that's Suriname spinach, which is a great ground cover and edible with spinach, obviously. We got herbs over here. Ooh, canna lilies starting to flower. We're probably gonna plant that right here. And that was a surprise. That came in a pot of soil, we don't even know. Pagodas, Japanese pagodas. They're huge, awesome flowering plants. More Suriname spinach ground covers. We got parsley, we got all kinds of little herbs and stuff over here. Along with some flowers. This is a firebush, which is a Florida native. The hummingbirds like them, these flowers. Hard to tell in this light. The hummingbirds like them. This thing will get huge, either bushy or tree like, however you prune it to be, basically. The leaves are also kind of medicinal. They're awesome. You can use them on burns and skin irritations. This is gooseberry. It's one of my favorites. It was filled with holes, like the whole plant looked like this before I planted it in here. Now look how well she's doing. Oh my gosh, I love it. I think it's called a pineapple gooseberry or something like that. I just know they got little yellow fruit that just tastes like a mouthful of tropical goodness. More Suriname spinach because I'm a fan, and they grow like a weed here. Then hibiscus bush. I tried to isolate these bromeliads. This one's flowering a little bit. To a cinder block in hopes that they don't just take over. That little guy's kind of cool. Looks like another comfrey right here. Support species. This little dude right here is a miracle leaf. This is miracle leaf. It's a type of succulent and it grows like weed. Then more herbs, rosemary, stuff like that. Pineapple. The first plant I ever planted and started this whole permaculture food forest dream of mine. Starting to flower. If you remember from a previous video, I planted some bamboo. Bamboo is doing great. All the new shoots have new leaves, new growth on it. She's doing great. She looks great. I also got a chance to snag, at the same time in the back of the property, I showed you guys those bamboo in the ground. I had the same time grab this, which is called a dissimulator. It's a species of it. All this green is new growth. But yeah, that's just a cutting. This was a 75-foot tall piece. This is lumber type. So I had a chance to grab a piece, put this in the ground, and I can't wait for this to take off. This is like the ultimate bamboo barrier. It gets thick, it gets big, it gets dense. It's awesome. And as you can see behind me, this is the start of a no-till lasagna garden. I just did this today actually. There are some holes in the tarp, so I utilized some old moving blankets. But yeah, that's all there is to it. You put a tarp on the ground, you let the grass die, put some cardboard, compost, mulch on top. That's it. Pretty easy to start a garden. No dig, no till. I'll show you guys the process, but this is all you start with is the tarp. Pretty easy. Only thing though that didn't make it is this bamboo over here. I don't know why. I think it was just a bad cut from the colony. But that one is dead. Straight up dead on the bottom. It's got some green on top, but not much. Then over here, I have a row of mammoth sunflowers. These guys will get about 12 feet tall. Next to bamboo. And I also put a passion fruit, self-pollinating passion fruit vine right here on this tree to see if it will climb up on its own. I stapled this thing like a little loop to help keep it up on the tree until it has some time to grow. It's putting out new shoots on the bottom, so I'm going to wait till they're long enough and then put it back up on the tree. But yeah, passion fruit vine to see if it will get up on its own. If not, no worries, I'll figure something else out. I actually had a huge passion fruit vine at my old house that grew across our clothesline. That's where that piece came from. I have more cuttings in the back in that group of plants I showed you guys. Looking for places to put them. Oh, actually I do have a place over here. I'll show you that. So this is a little clump of live oaks right next to the house. And I just went ahead and put my passion fruit vine pot in here. And as you can see, one of the vines is starting to go up under the tree, which is great. When those fruit ripen, they'll straight up just fall out of the tree, not harm the fruit much, and you can eat it. And if you saw my very first video I ever did when we came to the property, before we even moved in here, but I came and I had to do something. I had to plant something, right? I had to plant some Suriname spinach because, like I said, it grows like a weed here, great ground cover, and it's edible. It's awesome. I'll just pick some and start eating it, you know what I mean? So this is one of those plants from that video. No watering, guys. I didn't water that plant. There's some over there that's flowering. You know? I didn't water that. You can tell I didn't water that one. But it's growing. It's doing well. And that started as a cutting. It didn't even have roots or anything when I put that in there. But under these live oak trees, they have excellent mulch, basically, because of all the leaves and stuff. So yeah, worked out great. Every spot we planted these in, under these live oaks, they still have some plants living, thriving even. Like I said, some of them are flowering, which means they'll go to seed. Spread their seed everywhere. That's pretty much it, guys. That's all the progress so far is the birds, 4 pigs, excuse me, the no-till garden starting up there, the little mini permaculture area I'm starting around the chill spot. This is going to be the epicenter of the food forest. See, I had to plant these tropicals right next to the fire pit for reasons already mentioned. And then, like I said, these guys are fine without that, but they'll also help make a barrier. And this whole row, thick row of plants from here all the way to the end of the house, just waiting to get put in the ground. I'm on some lists to get some mulch and stuff like that delivered. I have a contact now. Who's giving me manure and stuff that I can use, which is extremely helpful. I wouldn't have been able to put anything in the ground without him and that stuff, so that's awesome. So I hope you enjoyed the tour / update on the progress and projects and stuff I've been doing here around the property. I wish I could be doing more as far as planting and growing my food forest and permaculture type stuff, but unfortunately that's just not how the cookie crumbles. I'm still on a waiting list, like I said, for mulch and other stuff, and the soil here is super sandy and doesn't hold nutrients very well, so I have to do things the right way in order to be successful. And due to a lack of resources like mulch, things are kind of at a standstill until I get those things taken care of. I do what I can with what I have, and I think I've made a decent amount of progress so far the first couple months. I'm just making this video to document said progress, and so I can look back on it later and yeah, and hopefully show other people, you know, some ideas and stuff like that. They can do this in their backyard. Even the pigs I have, you could have in the backyard. The chickens, ducks, and stuff I have, you can have in the backyard. Well, maybe not those specific species, because like the Muscovy duck especially, and those chickens, they like to fly and roost in the trees. So maybe not, and maybe not that specific breed of goose, because they can be very talkative. But maybe like a pilgrim goose, which are notoriously more quiet than the ones I have, some khaki Campbell ducks, and some Easter eggers chickens. Those would do a lot better and can be definitely managed in the backyard, get you some healthy food. You can even do a permanent run like I have. I just plan on opening that up when they're full grown to allow them to free range. It'll cut down on my food costs a lot. Like, I won't have to feed those guinea fowl at all. They can sustain 100% on the property. They eat 4,000 to 5,000 ticks a day, which is the reason I got them in the first place, because they're a great insect control. The ducks are as well. They're known for eating slugs in your garden. The geese are even called weeder geese because they're known to eat the weeds around your garden and not the actual plants themselves. So I'm kind of looking forward to it, but also scared at the same time to let them out. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you want me to go into anything a little bit more detail, let me know and I'll make a video on that subject, and it'll also give me a chance to make more content. So yeah, if you have anything you want to say, hit me up in the comments. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Love ya.